What is going on, guys? GrungeLab Gaming back here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the best sites in Apex Legends. This is basically a tier list slash ranking of all the sites in Apex Legends to date at this moment in Season 9. At this moment in time, and a look back in previous seasons, they really haven't added any new sites to the game since Apex Legends released. Of course, this is my opinion, and I would love to see how you would have ranked them yourself down in the comments below. Now, first, if we were talking about iron sites, there would definitely be an F tier and D tier, but since there are only a handful of sites actually in Apex, which is good, they can't widen the loot pool any more than it already is. It's kind of at its max at the moment, unless they add new map updates, so more loot can be distributed across the map. But going back to this, there will only be A, B, and C tier. Now, starting off with C tier. First, we have the 2x to 4x. Now, I know a lot of people will probably already be mad at this. Now, of course, it is my opinion, but looking at it, it isn't the most popular site in Apex Legends to begin with. Along with that, it is pretty hard to aim with this. Sometimes you can hit your shots, sometimes you can't. I think that the real problem with this is the dot to hit your shots with is a little bit too big. Along with, a lot of people don't think this has a purpose in Apex Legends anymore. A lot of people would agree that there are better mid-range sights than this in Apex Legends. Also in C tier, we have the 6x sniper. This would belong in C tier because it is the blue version of the 4 to 8x sniper. Now, with the blue sniper, it is good for mid-long range, if you know what I'm saying, right? It's just 6. It's in between the 4 and the 8 range, which can be adjusted. This cannot be adjusted, so you're kind of just stuck aiming very long range, which isn't bad if you are a pro or a good player, but some people would prefer a 4 to 8x rather than this. Final site that is high C tier is the 1x to 2x variable hollow. Now, this one is the one with the circle in the circle. Now, this one isn't the worst one, right? This one is alright, but it's only okay on certain guns. But if you're not using a Spitfire or a 301, this doesn't work the best on the R99 or the Peacekeeper shotgun. This sight is very situational and it relies heavily on which gun you're picking up. Moving on into B tier. In low B tier, the first sight is the 3x HCOG Ranger. Now, this is an alright mid-range sniper scope. A lot of people really love this, but the main problem I have with it, and a lot of people have with it, is this is one of the sniper scopes where it actually pays off to have skill in sniping or training with this sniper scope. When you pick this up, it has 3 lines around it and a dot in the center. Now, this would be fine for anyone who knows how to use it and who's very well with, directional aim, right? How long it's gonna take to hit your shot, things like that, accounting for the enemy movement and when your shots line up. Now, a lot of new players don't know how to line their shots up right, they're just learning. Now, people like me who actually are proficient in sniping, right, I can do it. I would definitely rather pick something else up besides this, something that I'll mention in A tier, but it wouldn't be this one right here. I'd pick it up if I had to use it, but this one is more for people who really know how to use it. It's not the most user-friendly scope, if that makes sense. There are a lot of better ones out there, but if you do want to be better at sniping, I would recommend actually training with this. It will help you get better at the game, although pretty hard to use. Also in B tier, we have the 1x hollow. Now, this works great on a lot of guns like the flatline. This is the only thing I'll use on the flatline, but a lot of people prefer a site better than this, kind of its sister site, which is the 1x HCOG, which I'll get to in a second. But this is a pretty good site, but a lot of people find it hard to use in various situations. As always, I find the layout of the scope to be hard to aim at range. Now, it's easy to aim at close range, that's why flatline, right, that is your close range go-to with the R99. But with this, it isn't going to be as effective when sniping. It's hard to see through and hit your shots with it. There's a lot of clutter on the site to begin with. It's not just one dot. There's a lot going on in the site, which makes it a little bit tricky to hit your shots. At high B tier, we would have the 1x digital threat. This is the definition of quality over efficiency, it is nice to look through smoke and through other things obstructing your view to see the heat signatures, right, to see people through the smoke. Now of course it's not x-ray, right, it doesn't go through buildings, but you can see people far away, especially if they're blending in with something. If there are a lot of people running around on the map, right, and they have a skin that kind of blends in with the area around it, and you see the red moving, you will know that it is an enemy and you can do whatever you need to, but the purpose of this site is to have good detection. Now, the thing with this is it's not very good with aiming long range. And when I say long range, I kind of mean PK long range. It won't be able to shoot that far. With this, it's kind of hard to see the sights. The sights kind of hold you back with the big lines that the sight is made up of. So it is pretty hard to hit your shots since there is a big area to cover when shooting. So that's what makes this kind of not that efficient. It's useful to see your enemies in obstructions, but it's not the easiest to hit your shots with. Moving on to A tier, these are the sights that you're going to want to have. Sniper, mid-range, short range, these are the best sights for all of those. Now coming in low A tier, we have the 4x to 8x variable sniper. Now this is one of the best purple sniper scopes that you can find pretty easily. This one is best in general when long range sniping. You can go in and out of mid range to very long range and snipe people across the map. A lot of people would think of its counterpart, and coming in at mid A tier is the 4x to 10x digital sniper thread. This is incredibly rare to find, but it works just like its counterpart, the 1x digital threat. So it can see things, right? It can see enemies, their heat signatures, all of that good stuff. Now this is great for recon across the map. Of course it detects people's heat signatures and you can see everything with this sniper scope, especially if you get to a high enough place. You can pretty much mark out all the map and scan for enemies pretty easily. A lot of people don't have too many problems with this. Same thing with the digital threat though, right? It's not the best at sniping, it's better at recon, but it's still a pretty decent sniper scope. Coming in second place in this entire tier list, we have the 2x HCOG Bruiser. Now, this is a fan favorite, of course. A lot of people love this for mid-range sniping. It's not very good for complete long range, although people know how to use it very well. This one is a little tricky to use at first. You kind of have to put the arrow just above enemies' heads with this one, which a lot of people don't know about, which makes it a little bit hard to snipe with, but a lot of people end up getting the sniper alignment down, so they'll be able to know where to shoot and how to correctly aim this sight. Whether you're watching a stream of a pro or having someone ping they're looking for one of these scopes, you can commonly see a lot of people using this type of mid-range scope. Moving on to the best sight in all of Apex Legends. This sight can actually be used on most long-range guns, which is pretty funny, but a lot of people have learned to use this sight super well. And this would be the 1x HCOG Classic. This one with just the one basic red dot has actually been a game changer in Apex Legends. I honestly can't remember a time when I didn't have teammates pinging for this sight. A lot of people love this sight, and it's one of the most commonly used sight in Apex Legends, along with the most commonly used gun, the R99. This pairs well with the Wingman and even things like the Longbow and Sentinel. This sight surprisingly can work well with any long range, short range, and mid range guns, surprisingly, but this has proven just to be a very good sight, something that always complements the fact that basic is sometimes great, and this really has proven that basic things like sights in Apex Legends are really good. That is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this long video. If you like content like this, please subscribe. Thank you all so much for the recent surpassing of 3,000 subscribers. It was a great milestone to hit. Thank you guys all so much for this. Thank you to my subscribers and channel members. Subscribe if you want to stick around and see more content like this. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye guys.